trying to get our live streaming started. Preparing to live stream. Hold on.
Okay, looks like we have some people joining today. Everybody, welcome.
Okay, we're live.
Awesome. Looks like we have some people joining the chat right now. Everybody from California. Post your location in the chat. Hey, Denny. Thank you for hosting this. Thank you for joining us today. Akron, Ohio, welcome. We got more people joining. We're at 9. Love to see that. Question for everybody: is anyone launching a campaign soon? Welcome, everybody. Just give us a second here while we wait for a couple more people to join. We just want to give everybody enough time to make sure they're on the call and not missing out on any of this valuable information. If you guys are joining, feel free to post where your location is in the chat. I'm joining in from San Francisco today. And it's lovely to have everybody joining us. Looks like we got some questions already. We'll save those for the end. We will be having a Q&A session. So don't you worry, we'll do our best to try to answer all the questions you guys have for us towards the end of the call. And yeah, let us know if you guys have launched a campaign or are planning on launching a campaign. We'd love to hear about all the things that you guys have going on. And we'll give a few more moments for people to keep on joining. Once I get the okay, then I can go ahead and help begin the slideshow for you guys. So for the team, let me know if you guys want to get started. You can give me a thumbs up, or if you guys think we should keep on waiting a little bit. "19 people in. This is great. This is great." Sorry guys, I have terrible lighting in here, so I'll try my best to turn on my screens and max out the brightness. But unfortunately, I will look a little bit dim in the picture today. All right, I think we're ready to get going in just a few moments here. Thank you everybody for joining us. Awesome. Love to see all these people joining. So, oh, there we go. Looks like there's my cue there. Welcome everybody to our entrepreneur education series. Um, Today, we're going to be kicking off our campaign page review sessions. And next slide, please. Hello, everybody. My name is Hugh. I am a hardware manager here at Indiegogo, and my role here is to find interesting products and campaigners and helping them bring their products to market by providing them strategy and insight into the crowdfunding process. And today, I have with me Amy from our campaign strategy team, who is one of our experts in user acquisition and backer engagement strategies.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. I am Amy. I have been with Indiegogo for 2 years, working with some of our top campaigners from startups to enterprise across APAC, North America, and EMEA markets. I am also one of our strategists behind the concierge services, which is basically our internal marketing agencies for campaigners. And so I have hands-on experiences on planning out the strategy and optimizing the campaign for execution. And I'm really excited to share my knowledge with you all today.
Awesome, and we're excited to be having you, Amy. Next slide. So today we're going to be starting our series on getting your campaign page launch ready. And we're super excited for all you guys joining us today. So during this session, you're welcome to leave your comment in the Zoom's Q&A feature. If you are watching the webinar on LinkedIn, feel free to leave a comment directly into the comment section. Our marketing team will go through all the comments throughout the session and send those our way. We'll try our best to answer all those at the end of the session if the time allows us. You're also welcome to drop a comment into our LinkedIn post and share your feedback with us in the chat for us to improve our future sessions. And also, guys, please note, stay with us till the end of the webinar as we're going to be having a lucky draw for all you guys that have attended the webinar. There's going to be one lucky winner. And for those of you who are streaming the session through LinkedIn Live, our lucky draw will be based on the Zoom attendees list that's visible to our marketing team here. So if you'd like to enter that draw, come to the Zoom registration page and have your name populate in the attendees list so we can put you part of that draw and you can be, you might be the lucky winner. And in today's webinar, we're going to cover a few of the topics below. One, key elements of a successful Indiegogo campaign page. Two, what visitors are looking for in a campaign page. And three, seeing Indiegogo campaign strategists fixing the campaigns page live in action. So Indiegogo, here's a little bit about us, why people launching on Indiegogo. Indiegogo is where groundbreaking technology is launched and discovered. In the past 24 months, we have over 24 million unique monthly visitors. Since our founding in 2018, we have 1.7 million campaigns that have successfully launched, and 308 campaigns raised over $1 million on Indiegogo. Our backers also span across 247 countries and regions. We are the platform where innovative new products take flight before they hit the mainstream market, but the technology on the platform is just as exciting as the tech that keeps the Indiegogo platform running as well. We have proprietary marketing tools for campaigners, such as our open comments, Facebook Pixel, and secret perks that make running a successful campaign less dictated by luck, but much rather a process that anyone can drive. And new things going on. We have our pre-launch discussions going on. We have recently rolled out 100% of this beginning in February, and it's available to everybody. What's cool about our pre-launch discussions is that it allows you to communicate with other prospective backers and help build a following even before the campaign launches. You're also able to enable the pre-launch discussions as soon as you've created a campaign draft on Indiegogo. And once you've enabled the pre-launch discussions on the campaign dashboard, a dedicated URL will be available for you to share for the pre-launch discussions page with all the prospective backers on your pre-launch list. Also, we recommend creating a pre-launch page. It is not required to enable the pre-launch discussions, but it's suggested so that you can share a little bit more about your product on Indiegogo and they know what exactly they're joining the discussion for. And now, without further ado, I'll let Amy from our campaign strategy team take over the floor, and she's going to do a great job with you guys today in kind of showcasing campaign page reviews.
So thank you, Hugh, for the quick intro. And it's my pleasure today to share some of our campaign page best practices with you. And these are the guidelines that our campaign strategists here at Indiegogo live and breathe. I will explain the thinking behind those general guidelines to help you conceptualize the rules that we discussed throughout the session. And we'll also have a few examples that we actually selected from the submission from the past few weeks. And hopefully those would be able to help you really understand how to apply those principles and have the actionable ideas to begin with. So here, I'll start with the statement. A campaign page is where you tell your product's value proposition. This is really a deciding factor for your pre-launch list subscribers and visitors from the marketing channels to decide whether they want to back your project or not. And so the ultimate goal for you is that your campaign page want to reach high conversion rate, which leads to high funds rates and high number of backers. That shows you have a product market fit for your project and a product idea. So with the concept above, let's dive in. First of all, if you are not familiar with Indiegogo's campaign page, we would like to show you an example to help you quickly understand the overall layout. As you can see with the call out here, we have a couple of different sections. On the top is what we call above the fold. This is basically the area, above the button of a browser's window, or approximately 600 pixels from the top of the page. This is the most important area because this is where, first visible to a user when they load the page. It is the prime real estate that gets the most attention from the visitors. So because of the high visibilities, the content that you place above the fold should really be eye-catchy to trigger interest in order to help achieve your funding goal. So we'll really dive into those like the video, gallery, title, tagline, and campaigner profile and product stage later on in the slides. Keep in mind that these should immediately grab users' attention and present them with the content that they are looking for so that they will continue skimming through your story and the pitch to understand your project. When you scroll down, you will see that story section and perk section. These would be providing details about your project and why people should contribute to your ideas. A good pitch will be compelling, informative, and easy to digest. And for the perks, these are basically the incentives that you offer for backers or customers in exchange for their monetary contribution. So the way you offer the perks would really vary depending on the type of product or the project that you launch. For today's webinar, we'll be focusing more on tech innovation related project. So in that case, your incentives would be the actual product or the subscription that you offer to allow users to use your product or service. If it's a creative project, such as like film, book, or any artwork, you would want to offer something different, such as like spin-off or access to your premiere if it's a film project, or any other like live streaming or private events, etc. So there are multiple types of perks that you can set up for different marketing strategies, and we will also explain those later on during this session. Okay, so here's an example of the above the fold section that we just mentioned. Then let's talk about the mobile layout. We just mentioned the above as the most important real estate. And I also want to call out that this principle applies to all devices and views. Especially, we are seeing more than 70% of our visitors coming from mobile devices. So it's important that you keep a mobile first mindset. On mobile, you really have limited real estate, so it's crucial that you are being more strategic about what to present to visitors as they land on the page immediately. You also want to make sure that your content and text are legible to mobile users. So the key to mobile first principle is that being, content center. So on the one hand, it really helps you to save the design time and improve designers' productivity by focusing on what's important given the limited real estate. On the other hand, it also forces you and your design team to pay more attention to the content of the product, which really helps you to hone in on the most important and essential content to create the neat and practical web design. So here's the example to show you how you could create a layout that focuses on the features and the use cases to help present these crucial information in a simple and visual appealing way on mobile. Next, I also want to call out the importance of thinking like a web user. Generally speaking, you do not really need like a fancy design to have a well-funded project. However, if you do not keep your campaign page easy for the visitors to find the information that they need, it would make it difficult for them or discourage them to continue learning more about your project and bounce from the web page. And so coming up, I want to give you a few first-handed quotes that we collected from our users in the past to showcase how users are actually browsing the campaign page and the key information that they are looking for. Let's look at the first thing. So users scroll and skim through the campaign page. Keep in mind that users don't really read through every words that you write on the campaign page. They are actually skimming through it and looking for the most important information that they are trying to see in order to make a decision. So here I grabbed a quote from a user's interview that we had previously. This user mentioned that I watch a video and I scroll through the videos when there are videos than just the one. So this is basically to showcase that users are actually just clicking through and trying to get a quick idea of what the project is about, and they won't really be a lot of details immediately. Second, third parties options present a more holistic picture. For this specific idea, I wanted to give everyone a concept that people are actually looking for opinions from third parties when they are evaluating whether this is a project that they want to back or not. So we actually found that users would scroll through the gallery to look for any unboxing or review content from external sources, as opposed to just looking at the customer testimonial or the quotes that campaigners put together themselves on the campaign page. And so here's a few quotes from our users. I will scroll through the gallery and see if there are any external people trying this product out. People might also go to Google and search for relevant information about this project or this campaigner. So this can be seen in the second quote that I put up here. And next, project timeline should be as visible as possible. This is to really emphasize that why transparency and accountability is really important to prospective backers. In our interviews with our users, we have found that users think it's desirable to have the timeline information visible to them on the upper part of the campaign page, because they will want to find out how realistic and how well planned the project is. And so having that as visible as possible on the campaign page would be very helpful for those users who are trying to evaluate whether this project timeline is realistic or not. On the other hand, we have also heard users saying that they would consider going to update to see what the campaign has been progressing, what are some of the milestones that they have hit. So these are some of the ideas to show you how you can make project timeline be as visible as possible to the visitors. Last but not least, I also want to call out that the campaign page on Indiegogo really have multiple tabs, and we offer these different features to allow campaigners to communicate with our backers. And so showing that you are actually having a consistent backer communications with your community and visitors will be crucial to your funding success. So here are two quotes that I included from our user interviews. We can see that users are trying to make sure campaigners are actually updating regularly so that this project is actually moving along and they can expect this product will arrive. And even, a campaign is actually being delayed. Users are also looking for creators and entrepreneurs to at least giving some updates for campaign for the community to learn about the update and the progress over there. And so I would say even when later on your project is delayed due to some unforeseeable issues, you should at least send out communications roughly once a month to let users knowing that the current progress and what they can expect from this specific campaign. So we just look at the whole campaign page structure and some of these important things that our users have shared with us in the past. I hope this really gives you a better understanding of what are some of these important elements on the campaign page. And so now I would like to break it down further to discuss each element that fall under the different section of the campaign page. As I just mentioned earlier, above the fold is the most important area of the page. So the elements that we have here include title, tagline, video overlay image, the team owner's profile, and gallery. Here, I want to particularly highlight these elements because the descriptions that you put on here would really help with your search engine optimization to make your campaign searchable and discoverable when people try to find the information online through the search engine. And these are also the first elements that the campaign visitors would see when they arrive and determine whether they want to continue scheming the project or click away. So make sure you leverage all the elements here. For title, we have the 50 character count. So be sure to clearly explain what the product is and include those keywords. I would also fully leverage the tagline as well to explain the product benefits. Then to build an effective story that's easy for users to follow through. Generally, this will be the story format that we advise our campaigners to follow through. And I won't read through them one by one, but as you can see, it will start with an intro and a clear description about the product, any key features that you want to highlight, and of course, the testimonials or any sort of like press coverage that can help you showcase any social proof to strengthen your trustworthiness would be very helpful. And then at the bottom, you can include more details about the project planning, such as the manufacturer details or the project timeline and the campaign team's files or picture to add a more human touch to your campaign. And some visual rule of thumbs for you to keep in mind. We always want to prioritize your unique selling points on the campaign page. And you also want to have those trust and signals by showing people that you are very transparent about what you can actually fulfill and achieve through this campaign. And so don't be afraid to show those like behind the scene content, such as design, prototyping, production, and packaging progresses. Those are actually content that would build up trust among the prospective backers. And mobile first, we cannot stress this enough. Make sure your layout is neat and concise and to the point. It is also important to focus on, delivery only, what users are actually looking for, and cut out those fluff that may distract them. And from the visual design perspective, make sure it has a clear hierarchy that users can easily distinguish the headlines, the paragraphs, so that they can quickly get the idea of each content block. It should be skimmable and digestible, so it can be friendly for any users who are landing on your page through mobile or a desktop. And lastly, keep in mind that story is editable throughout the campaign phase, and it can definitely evolve while you are fundraising. So if you need to add more information during the funding stage, it is definitely possible. That being said, not everything worth being placed in the story immediately when you launch a campaign. So you are welcome to move things around or add new information as the campaign progresses. So here we'll show some example of how you are able to tell the key features in a more visual, compelling way. These are some examples from very successful campaigners on our platform. You can also leverage GIFs to tell your product's key features and how the products works in a more compelling way. So these are some examples to showcase how specifically a product works in different scenarios. And some of these features can actually be more easily understood through the GIFs. Then when it comes to copywriting, we also want to advise you to start with determining your tone of voice. Make sure you are understanding your own team identity or brand identity to determine how you want to communicate with your backers, and write around those key features and benefits as if you are talking to your backers, which means that using a second person tone would really be helpful, and that showcases that you are actually speaking to your audience. Then let's look at the perks structure. So as you can see on the example on the right, this is how perks would be seen on the campaign page. Basically, we would not advise people to have more than perks available at once, because that would create a lot of distractions to the audience to choose from. You would also want to make sure you have clear perk titles by including the name of the product, and having the perk quantity by starting low and then gradually increasing it as the campaign goes. That will help you to have more flexibility to adjust your sales strategies down the road. And also make sure that you have clear perk image and variations, item counts. These would be very easy for users to know what are the options that they can choose from, and avoid, unnecessary like customer support questions that you will have to take care of during the campaign. On Indiegogo, we also offer different perk offerings that you can diversify your perk strategy. An example of that would be our unique secret perks. These are only available to the visitors via a unique link that you share with them through like emails or advertising campaigns. And as you can see on the example here, there will be a secret perk label mark on the secret perk. And so this will only be visible to visitors who land through that unique link that you share. We also have add-on perks available for our campaigners to use. These are the additional perks that backers will see when they go through the checkout process. And you can offer like add-ons or product upgrades, additional colors that people may want to operate their contributions. And so these would be helpful when you want to upsell the products and raise additional funds from your backers. And lastly, I want to share with you all about the campaign insights dashboard that we have here for our campaigners to analyze the performance and some of the metrics that we will focus on, such as like visit, contribution, funds raised, and that could help you do the math to calculate the conversion rate to understand where the campaign stands at the moment. You could also look at the traffic distribution by checking out the sources and the geos to understand where your backers and traffics are coming from, and improve your marketing strategies based on these informations. Alternatively, you could also insert your Google Analytics tags in our campaign editors that will help you to utilize Google Analytics to track more information such as audience, acquisition, behavior, conversions inside the dashboard. We also recommend you turn on e-commerce conversion tracking to make sure that you are also tracking that contribution conversions correctly. So we talked about all the guidelines and the principle. Now we want to really dive into the campaigns that we selected and help you understand how you can apply those principles. The first campaign is the hyper efficient scooter. So this is a very interesting campaign that a lot of we are seeing a lot of like green tech and transportation campaigns that are really thriving during the pandemic times. And so as this campaign pop up, I think it will be a great example for those who want to also tap into those areas to learn how you can build a successful campaign page. So first thing that stood out to me is by looking at the goal that this campaigner set here, my first question is, can you actually hit this during the first 3 days? And the reason being that is because we want to really focusing on the, whether we are able to hit the external goal early on to help people see that there's momentum going on with this campaign and attract more prospective backers to join the campaign. And so this specific goal here is not entirely clear to me whether this campaign team is certain that they can unlock this goal during the first few days of the campaign. I would also want to be more specific about the project title. Right now, it only states the hyper efficient scooter, but it is actually a little bit high level and does not tell users which aspect of it is efficient. And so looking at the key features in the story, I would say I would try to be specific about the dual honeycomb tires of Stride, because it really stood out that it offers a peace of mind for users to ride this scooter when they are trying to explore different areas. So I would consider revising it as Stride scooter, ride punctual free and stress free. Another thing is about the tagline. I would definitely try to use the character count and include more specifics to convey the benefits and how it is able to create a peace of mind for your riders. For example, I might try something like ride in comfort, even over bumps with full suspension. With dual honeycomb tires, never deal with a flat tire again to shorten your adventure. This will help you be more clear about your benefits and what this product can do to improve people's life. Lastly, I do like how this campaign team include a lot of close-ups of the product and the use cases to help people easily understand what the product can do. So regarding the video overlay image here, I think this one actually works. I would advise the campaign team to take this further by including some text overlay or image overlay to call out the information that may be valuable to your backers. For example, delivery guarantee by Evolve team. This only works when you're certain about your post-campaign fulfillment plan. Or you could also promise customers that you have a certain warranty period. These are all the potential signals to present your campaign as more trustworthy for users to back. Now let's look at the perks of the Stride campaign. As everyone can see, maybe the text may be a little bit small here, but I think the campaign team actually does a good job with the clear perk names, the clear perks descriptions, and image cards to help people understand what they are able to expect from claiming this perk. I do think there's something interesting that stood out to me is that this campaigner priced the perk with the earliest shipping timeline, and they used the highest price for this super early bird. I think this would be a little bit risky for a crowdfunding campaign when the production and delivery timeline is mostly unpredictable. So unless you are already having the inventory available for shipping, I would not charge users more upfront for like the early shipping, kind of like the expedited shipping fees when you have the timeline is still floating. And this also does not provide users the incentives to back early to drive the conversion rate high during the early stage of the campaign. So my advice here would be, apply the best discount to super early bird. And you will want to increase users' interest to back your campaign early. And so you can allocate a limited quantity to the lowest price perk to really, incentivize them to back your perk early. In terms of the story here, Stride really does a great job by using a mix of GIF and static image to demonstrate the product. So there are a lot of details there for people to understand the product. I would advise the campaign team to go beyond by, including some of these like infographics to showcase the features in a more visually appealing way. And this will avoid a lot of the scrolling for users to learn about your key features and benefits. Okay, next campaign is DivDa. This is also a very interesting campaign that I feel it's a very, really innovative idea. And so I would love to, share with you all to see how we can help this campaign team improve it and also help you to learn from applying those principles. For this specific campaign, as you can see, it claims like cross-species accessories. I would actually consider clearly describe the product a bit more. And so the way it phrased now, cross-species, make it sound like this is for different pets. But as I was reviewing the campaign page, I noticed that this is primarily for dogs and dog owners. And so I would consider making it specific for just pets and pet owners to make it clearer. In the tagline, I would also focus a bit more about the value that your product provides to the target audience. Right now, the campaign team highlights it's a women-owned business, and that shows your background, and that could resonate with a particular audience segment who's interested in supporting women-founded companies. So mentioning women-owned is an approach that you can take. But from my personal opinion is that women-owned does not immediately tell the audience what is special about your campaign. So I would try focusing more about, your product's value proposition, which is to basically allow like pet owners to sync your style with your pet style with like vegan-friendly jewelry and accessories that are locally crafted in Los Angeles. And the reason why I think Los Angeles can fit in the tagline is that it really associates with fashion and trendiness. And so that would be a keyword that I would consider baking into the tagline. The other areas such as the Go settings and the galleries all looks pretty reasonable and well done. So I will give a thumbs up for this campaign team. Then in terms of the perks that this DivDa team set up, I think the team also have done a great job with all the perk setups. What can be improved is that they offer like 9 perks in total right now, and there are really too many options for users to choose from. As we mentioned, the more that you offer, the more distractions that people can get. And so try to restructure the perk sequence by prioritizing those like products that are most important for you to offer at this time. I would also consider, deprioritizing those small amount donation perks on the top because these donations really take the most prominent position. And after all, your customers are interested in, your product. So the ultimate goal for you is to help people clearly see the actual products that you want to offer and create it, and raise from those accessories rather than the smaller amount of donation. So my advice would for you would be, try to adjust the sequence and prioritize those product-focused perks over the donations. In terms of the story of DivDa campaign, generally speaking, it has a really clear story structure that's easy to follow. There are also a lot of details around how this product works, the material use. So I think the campaign team really does a great job there. My only advice would be to pull your stretch goal out from the lower part of the story and try to make the announcement on the upper part of the story to make it more visible for your prospective backers. You could also announce it in the updates so that your backer communities would get that announcement and knowing what they can do to help support you and drive more momentum. And here specifically, this campaigner also utilized the social proof, such as being featured in the Today Show. I think that's also a great idea to include in the story to really help you present your idea as more convincing. Okay, the third campaign, Ski Class FC. This is also another interesting campaign idea. From what I can see here, first thing that stood out to me is about the title. I would say try to be also more specific about what the product is. Right now, Ski Class FC doesn't explain what your product does. I might try something along this line, such as ski cloth stoppers, aid for skiing uphill. Notice that these are the keywords that help explain what the product does and what people can actually benefit by using this product. Then in the tagline, again, try to explain why your product will make your target audience life better. Right now, the campaigner only states, to the next level. This does not really convey what it means to the audience because we might all have different levels. So I would focus on communicating your value proposition and how that solves people's problem, such as something along this line, enable people to ski uphill without stopping and reinstalling skis. Next, for the video overlay image, this current image is not super clear about what the product is, and there's only a logo overlay. I would consider uploading a clear product image under the campaign editor, like this one that the campaigner actually has on the campaign page. In the gallery, I like how the campaigner actually included the prototype and testing videos to be very convincing to the audience. The only thing that stood out to me would be the comics here that I circle. In the gallery, we want to showcase more on the use cases, the product closeouts, and immediately help understand what the product can do. So though the comics are interesting to scroll through, I find them would be more impactful when they are being organized in a image collage and placed in your intro to tell the motivation of your project instead. And about Ski Class perk. Again, let's look at the way that they structure the perks. They all have clear descriptions and perk image cards for people to know what's being content. I would consider, improving them by renaming the perks to follow the naming conversion. Right now, some of these are named as like earlier or earliest perks. They are a little bit different from what users are used to. And so I would consider applying super early bird or early bird and follow that naming convention to help your users easily understand what would be, the discount level offered there. And in the story, generally speaking, I think this team has done a good job with, writing out, the origin, the thinking behind this project. So that has really conveyed the value proposition of this product idea and innovation. I would also say the sketches below really also help people understand how the campaign team would want to create this product. What are some of these specs that really help the skiers to improve their skiing experience. Overall, it is a little bit text heavy, so I would try to break these content down by including some visual elements or graphics to help people more visually able to tell what the content is about by skimming through it. So an example of that would be like the testimonials that the campaigner included here. As we can see, there are pretty long paragraphs. What I would do there is potentially by including the user's image or just an icon and reorganize them in like a infographic to help users more easily skim through these information. Okay, so finally, the key takeaways. By looking at other people's campaigns, I'm sure you can also draw a lot of learnings by just learning from others. Make sure that users don't really skim, they don't really read, they skim through it. So don't assume that they will really read through the whole page or watch your whole video. They might just be clicking through it instead. And keep in mind mobile first. So preview your own campaign page on a mobile device as well to put yourself in the user's shoes and see what they are actually seeing, what are legible or not. Lastly, be sure to set your expectation right. We at Indiegogo, we often, advise our campaigners to under-promise and over-deliver because crowdfunding is not shopping, and you want to be really realistic and practical about your development and fulfillment plan. But you also want to give position yourself as trustworthy by presenting those evidence such as like your project plan or your research, your production evidence to show that your campaign worth your support. So make sure you are doing your backer communications to set the expectations right. And that's all the case studies and principles that I would love to share today. Now back to Hugh.
Awesome. And thank you, Amy, for sharing all of that valuable insight. I'm sure everybody who's joined today got something out of that. Even I get something out of it, and I've been here for over 2 years now. So always appreciate your presentations and always something to learn. And yeah, I think the reviews give really good insight on what to look for when building and reviewing a campaign. And to build on top of that, I suggest you guys viewing to check out some of our articles in the Education Center, which the team will be posting into the chat. Indiegogo's Education Center is a robust resource for entrepreneurs containing articles and insider tips from Indiegogo professionals and insiders with the intention to help you learn everything you need to know about running a successful campaign. The articles mentioned here are just the tip of the iceberg of knowledge on Indiegogo as well. Please find the Education Center by visiting Indiegogo's website and then looking for the Education Center link at the bottom of the page in the footer, or you can simply search Indiegogo Education Center in Google and it'll be one of the first things to pop up and for you to explore and expand all your crowdfunding knowledge. And there are the links. So, and also one thing I want to note is that our very own crowdfunding strategists are here to help in various ways. We do have some paid and premium services that expand into areas such as product photography and videography, pre-launch page lead gen strategy, campaign page creation like Amy was just sharing with us, marketing copy editing, and perk strategy. So our campaign strategists are here to provide some unique and tailored solutions, all of which I just mentioned. And this is great if you're looking for a more handheld solution to allow us to help alleviate some of the responsibility of building and preparing the campaign, and then really allow you to have more time to focus on the product and focus on the tooling part of the tooling part of the crowdfunding process. And if you're interested in learning more about our concierge services, feel free to sign up using the link below in the chat, and we'd be happy to help dive deeper into the details and pricing of all these services. If you're super interested and you can't wait, feel free to shoot me an email in the chat as well. which is going to be my email is going to be hugh.no@indiegogo.com. Feel free to shoot me an email if you're interested, and I'll get you in touch with the right people. And moving on to the next portion, we're going to open up the Q&A section shortly. But before that, we're going to go over a few FAQs to allow you guys to think of any questions. If you guys haven't posted them already, we'll get to them in just a moment, but we'll go over a few FAQs first. So Amy, what would be the right campaign length?
Yeah, so I would say we don't really have like a benchmark for people to stick to. But as we shared earlier during the presentation, a rule of thumb is really to have that clear page structure to fill in the information that users would be looking for. So like your key project features, the specs, the technology, if it's a tag campaign behind the product, and the project motivation, the timeline, and the team behind the project. These would be important for users to assess your campaign's visibility.
Awesome. And next would be, how much graphic/GIFs are appropriate to use on a campaign page?
Yeah, so this basically, you really want to keep your target audience in mind. So we do not, recommend overly using like graphics or GIFs that potentially may slow down your campaign page loading speed. And you would also want to consider, is your audience highly tech savvy enough that they are knowledgeable and being able to understand the technical specifications already, rather than explaining a lot of those things through the dual graphics. And if you are also launching, product types such as like fashion or apparel, this might be more helpful when it comes to utilizing like GIFs or graphic to demonstrate how the products will look like on the models. And this will be the scenario that you will want to build a more graphic oriented campaign page.
Awesome. And the last one is, can I set up different campaign page variants?
Unfortunately, right now, we only allows campaigners to create one variant for the campaign page. But I would say if you are already on the Indiegogo platform and has a project account, you'll see that we have pre-launch page feature that would allow you to conduct A/B tests early on before the campaign goes live. And so from there, you will be able to get the experiments on your strategy and get the findings to help you utilize the winning messaging and marketing strategies on your campaign page, rather than testing it out during the live campaign phase. And so that being said, I would recommend everyone, conduct your tasks during pre-launch, and you would, apply those winning combinations of the variations that you have tested out during pre-launch to your campaign page.
Awesome. Yep. Great insight about the pre-launch pages. I always recommend campaigners to use that as well, just to test out those different positionings. And then quickly jumping into the Q&A, we see you guys' questions, and we're going to try to jump in there and help answer some of them now. So first question from Joyce. She asked, my launch deadline is in May, and I need until September to prepare the required materials for the launch page, etc. Can I get an extension until September/October?
Oh, Hugh, would you want to start?
Okay. Yeah, I can start a little bit with that. So if your launch deadline is in May, what I would recommend, I guess there's different scenarios for this, but I just recommend for you to like copy and paste all of your assets into somewhere where you can kind of quickly recreate the page. The campaign draft deadlines typically have a 6-month timing period on that. So once that 6 months is done and you haven't launched, then those pages will be deleted on the back end. And we are running out of time shortly. So if you posted a question and we don't get to it, I think Angela posted this, please reach out to us via the form to get answers from additional questions. And then, cool, I think we answered that. From Doug Hitch, countdown timers. Where is the Indiegogo counter? What do you recommend for a web page widget?
Yeah, for this one, I can take this one. I am not too sure what you refer to by like a web page widget, but in terms of countdown timer, these are widely used by some of our campaigners. Some of them, they can just find those like GIF countdown online once they inputted their information, such as like the campaign deadline. They will be able to generate that HTML snippet, and you can copy and paste the code to the campaign editor to embed that countdown timer.
Awesome. And next question from Rachel. She asks, how do I get a bump from your algorithm to be a featured campaign? You want me to go into that, Amy, or would you like to kind of take it?
You feel free to take this one.
Awesome. Yeah. So for getting a bump in the algorithm, we have this organic algorithm on Indiegogo called the Gogo Factor, which takes into factor things such as your backer count, funds raised, but also how active you are with the campaign. So the more often that you post updates, the more often people comment and you comment back. These are all factors that help get you an organic boost to get into places such as like the team favorite section and also natural organic placements on the platform as well.
Yeah, and just to add, because as Hugh mentioned, the discussion, the comments would also be factored into your Gogo Factor and determine how you are being placed in the search results or throughout the site. A good way to start it early by building that discussion momentum is through our pre-launch discussion. You can utilize it before the campaign even goes live, allowing people to ask questions, answer their question then, and there will be those comments would be migrated into your live campaigns discussion tab. And that will be a great social proof for people to see it has been widely discussed, and it would also help increase your Gogo Factor even before the campaign goes live.
Awesome. And I think we're wrapping up towards the end here, so I guess we'll do one more question before we sign off. From Doug, how are we able to reorder the videos and images in the gallery?
Are we able to? I see. Right now, to reorder the videos and images, I don't believe there's a direct way that you can move things around. So what I would recommend is that you would start by ordering all the items and the descriptions that you want to input it on the Google Doc, and then start putting in those links and the files to make sure it reflects the same order.
Awesome. And thank you for answering that, Amy. So guys, we are over our time limit today on the webinar, but we want to send our appreciation to you guys. We have a couple more slides left that we have to get to. So we want to hit that and make sure we have a winner for the giveaway today. So upcoming, so please submit your creative campaign drafts for our campaign strategist review. We're going to have another session in May, and if you guys submit those, then we have a chance to get to those as well. And you might be chosen to be in this live review. And next slide, please. So saving the best for last, for all of you guys that have made it to the end, we have prepared a prize for one of you lucky guys. The reward is going to be a free consultation with one of our campaign strategists to review your campaign page. Like I said earlier, in order to qualify, you must have attended this webinar and are online at this moment to be part of the live draw. We'll contact you in the back end for your email if you have a different email than the one posted. So if the email you posted to sign up for the webinar is not one that you use, please DM us in the chat so we can update your email. And now I'm going to get to the winner, and drum roll please. It is going to be Jake Armstrong.
Congrats!
So congrats, Jake. Snaps all around. Please DM us if you have a different email that you signed up with. Otherwise, we'll send you a message or email via the one that you signed up with. And yep, thank you all for joining. And that is going to be the rest of it. And yep, looking forward to see you guys all in next month webinars. Don't forget to sign up and always send a like.
When you work something that you're very passionate about and that is your dream, it makes you really proud. And to see the whole Indiegogo team working with us and helping us achieving that dream has been awesome.
Partnering with Indiegogo, we're able to bring these new innovative products to the consumers.
Pametech is high-tech corporation. We have always dreamed of developing innovative audio device for beauty lover.
You can basically have a small dream that you want to realize, and you can actually build a campaign on Indiegogo based on that.
The best thing about launching a product on Indiegogo is the fact that they have a full series of services that cover from the beginning to the end. It is a good way for us to learn more about our products as well as more about our consumers. And in the same time, it is also a process to help us continuously improve our products in future generations.
Working very closely with Indiegogo Campaign Strategists, I found that they're able to provide new initiatives that make my digital marketing much easier.
We like the look and feel of the Indiegogo platform, the way it's set up, the newsletters. You appeal to a broader audience than on other crowdfunding campaigns. Right after they feature us in any of Indiegogo's platform, there's really a lot of sales.
Our best-selling day was $1.2 million in 24 hours. It's been a good collaboration. They've always been